Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm going to be going over the worst book to movie adaptations that I think are the worst. So previously I did a best book to movies adaptations list, went over all my favorites, and so I figured I might as well do the other end of the spectrum and now talk about the ones that I think didn't exactly hit the mark or hold up very well. So these are my worst book to movie adaptations. I don't have as big a list for this one because I find that for most of the adaptations they actually do really well, or even moderately well, but some of them just did not do well at all. And so I have a list of about 5 here that personally stick out to me. Now, like I said before, this is a personal list, so it's not the be all end all list. It's just my personal preference. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys say in the comments below about what yours are. But anyways, let's dive into my list. So the first one I have on this list is The Fifth Wave. I actually did enjoy this series, minus the last book. I was actually just talking to somebody about this, and I liked the first one. I liked the second one. But yeah, the last book just did not do well in this series. Anyway, the movie, however, was not great. I remember seeing the trailer thinking, oh, this is awesome. I'm super excited about this because I liked the book. And then I watched the movie, and it was just... there's a reason that they never continued with book 2 or book 3 as an adaptation, because the movie did not do very well. And there were a lot of parts in the movie that didn't kind of match up with how this book went. So it was confusing to me, and overall just a really big letdown, which is really unfortunate because I did enjoy the book. But yeah, so this one was a big one. This was also in my dystopian love phase where I was just reading all dystopian books, so I was super excited. And yeah, it just didn't hit the mark. Another one that I was very excited to watch because I read the book really quickly, Marcus and I actually read this book together as a buddy read, was The Sun Is Also a Star. So I was so bored in this movie, and I get it, it's a 24-hour kind of insta-love romance type of book, but it was just so damn boring. And they took out there's one part in this book that I absolutely love. I can't say what it is because it's kind of spoilery, but they took it out of the movie, and I was waiting the whole movie for this one part to happen, and it never did. And I was just like, are you kidding me? The one part that I really enjoyed about this book, and they take it out completely for the adaptation. So that was very unfortunate. I'm sure a lot of people would really like this movie if they had not read the book. Even if they read the book, maybe they'd still like the movie. They do keep it pretty close, but the part that I was looking for was a pretty important part to me from the book, and they just kind of scrapped it completely and didn't even have it in the movie. And that was just something I was really bummed about, considering it was probably my favorite part of the book. So yeah, another letdown. Okay, then we have I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid, and I adore this book. I thought this book was so good. I got it sent to me by Simon & Schuster kind of randomly, and so I didn't really know what to expect about this book because I had never even heard of it before, but I just got it in the mail. And so I had it on my side shelf, but then I decided to take it with me when I was going on a trip up north, I believe. I think I was going to visit my friend, and I had a 2-hour plane ride. And because this book is so short, I was like, well, I'll just bring this one, read it on the plane ride, and then be done with it. And so I did, and this book blew my mind. I had no idea what I was going into. I absolutely adored the book. It was so creepy and had me thinking all different things throughout the entire book. My mind was bended. I was trying to figure out what was going on. And I'll say this book is a very it makes you feel creeped out slash uncomfortable throughout the entire book. And then when you get to the end, you're like, okay, I understand. But yeah, it was super well done. So then Netflix adapted it, and I was really excited to see how they were going to pull it off. And so when I actually watched the Netflix adaptation, I was just like, oh. I did feel very uncomfortable. They did do an excellent job of making you feel uncomfortable, but even like the ending and resolution stuff did not hold up like it did in the book. I didn't feel the same way I did when I read this book. This book had such like a lasting impact on me, and then to see it through like Netflix's vision, I think they could have done better. And so yeah, it just really didn't hold up to, I guess, my expectation for it. And so yeah, I don't know. I still really love this book. I think it's awesome, and it's such like a really creepy like thriller, I guess. So if you want something like that, then you might like this one. But I suggest not watching the adaptation because Netflix will ruin it for you, and you'll be upset about it after that. Then next up we have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Peculiar. I think I said that right, but when I say it, it sounds weird. Peculiar. There we go. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't necessarily enjoy the book really either. I read this whole trilogy, not too sure why, because like I didn't really enjoy the first or second book, but I guess it's because I'm a completionist, so I was like, I have to finish the series, so I read it all. And then I watched the movie, and I just didn't like it. I don't know. It's probably because I didn't really like the book that I didn't like the movie. I like the main actor that they chose for it. Like, I think his name is Asa Butterfield. He's in the show Sex Education, and he's fantastic. But I don't know. I think it's honestly just because I didn't really enjoy this book that I didn't enjoy the adaptation. And yeah. And I mean, it clearly didn't do too well because they didn't continue with it either. So that's the telltale sign when like a movie doesn't do very well, is if they don't continue with the sequels. But yeah, I don't know. This one had a lot of promise. Like, it seemed super creepy with like these old black and white photo style covers with like the creepy kids on them. So I was like, cool, I'm down for like a creepy kid kind of series. But it just didn't really, it just didn't hit very well. Like, I thought it was going to be more creepy, but it just wasn't. And a lot of them, like, a lot of the conflicts in this series, I didn't find like super conflicting, if that makes sense. Like, nothing really felt like anybody was at stake or anything like that. So it just, I don't know. I feel like it's just because I didn't really like this book that I didn't like the adaptation. So that's that. And then the last one I have on my list, which I hope you guys are not upset with me about this one, but I chose The Great Gatsby. And that's because I read The Great Gatsby in school, and I went to see the new adaptation that they did with Leonardo DiCaprio, and I fell asleep in the theater. I have never fallen asleep. Like, this was the first time I've ever fallen asleep in a movie theater, and it was watching this movie. I will say that they had an excellent soundtrack to this new movie. I loved the soundtrack. I thought it was really good, but the rest of the movie was just so boring. And I mean, to be fair, well, I never really had anything against The Great Gatsby. It was a decent book to read for school, but I don't know. I've also never fallen asleep in a movie theater, and this movie put me to sleep. So yeah. This is also like a special edition of it that I got, which is pretty cool. So I like that I have like a fancy version of it. I probably won't ever read it again, so maybe I should like sell it or something. But yeah, I just didn't like this one. And that's all I have for my list. Nice, short, and sweet. There's not too many that are on like my worst list, so that's why it's not that big of a list. Most of the time I do enjoy these adaptations. But anyways, let me know in the comments down below which adaptations you think did not hit the mark, because I want to see which ones you guys don't like either. I don't want to be the only one spewing like, it's not even necessarily negativity here. I just didn't like these ones, and I'm curious to see which ones you guys don't like. Anyways, if you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon and a Coffee page, which I'll put in the description down below, as well as a link to buy my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post my videos on Mondays and Thursdays. And until next time, keep on reading.